All right. So hope everyone had an awesome week. Just following back up with posting these market updates and what's really happening within my business. So this week was a pretty good week. I think we had four shoots, and I'm just gonna go through my calendar. Monday, I've been working with a client that's doing a series of renovation projects. So we went out, filmed a project for her, pretty much a longer piece. We're pretty much going to be creating a series of pretty much showing the process. She works with like a lot of high end renovations and stuff like that. So we're pretty much creating a mini series on what that process looks like. So I guess that's just something for me is what I learned is that clients will come to you with ideas for projects and for things that they want to do, but they don't necessarily always know what they want. So it really is up to you to kind of guide them the way, but then also to keep it like realistic, let them know like what are your expectations, what are you really like, what are you looking to spend on this. I had a similar project that somebody was like, hey, I'm gonna do a performance. I'm just using this as an example. Someone is gonna hire me to DP something and they're like, hey, I have this client, they're gonna do a performance, and they want something like they want something simple. And I was like, simple? Show me what they had in mind. They sent me a Beyonce video, like literally a Beyonce performance video. And I was like, hey, this is awesome. 8 camera setup. You're going to get like a dolly, whatever. Like, what's her budget? And that's where, they just didn't. That's where like the becoming where shit becomes real. And she's like, yeah, we have like $1,000. So I was like, I can't do this project. So, but then the client that hit me up, they're like, that's a great point. You're bringing this as an example to show them, like, let's bring them back down to earth. So, this happened with another project, and I guess to go off that was I'm tired, but to go off that, it was that even though we were shooting a series of 8 episodes for this client, creating micro pieces of content is what they're kind of looking for. And I guess that's I'm still trying to gather all my thoughts for this. Was that even though we're shooting a bigger project, being able to provide your clients with micro pieces of content, so like they want to see the results, right? Because we're working on a very long project, and her waiting and paying all this money to do this project but not seeing anything to the end doesn't make her feel great about it. So I cut this micro piece of content for her so I can give to her so she could see, and she like felt good about what we're doing, and she's like, yo, let's shoot next Monday. So I got her excited. So that's like my tip for you guys is, if you're working on these projects, get your clients excited, and get the faster you guys can turn around the videos, the better it's going to be for you. And that's something I learned very early in my business is the longer you take to deliver a video to the client, the higher the expectations are going to be for the quality of video. Now, if you turn a video around in 48 hours, they'd be like, their expectations are still very low because you've done it in a very short period of time. So the sooner you can turn it around, the lower the expectations, the sooner you can get into another project. So last week I had two coaching calls, and that's kind of exhausting. These coaching calls sometimes, yeah, I know. And they can be exhausting because it's like a lot of mental stuff. And I guess that this is all kind of coming together. But okay, I had a coaching call with somebody that's a little bit older, and they were kind of breaking into the medical field, and we kind of worked with him through their opening, how they're reaching out to clients, because I think that's really important. I think the best way when you guys are really starting out and you're doing any kind of like sales outreach is send an email to one of your friends and tell them like, hey, what's your first impression on this? Because most of the time you're probably sending an email to somebody that's just way too long. So what you guys do when you're reaching out to these people, keep it short and sweet and really focus on building a connection and building a relationship. Do not go in and pitch these people on just like, hey, I got a video project for you, like I want to help you do video, because that's not what they care about. They don't care about video. What they really care about is results for their business. So you opening up a conversation with them to be like, hey, love what you guys are doing, love 5 minutes of your time to find out what's your goals this year for your business. I want to see if I can help you reach those goals. It's a different conversation. So and the other thing too is that a lot of you guys you'll reach out to one business owner and then not follow up, or you might follow up another like twice. you need to follow up at least 6 times. Like literally, I know it sounds crazy, but the more comfortable you guys get with following up with clients, you're gonna see that the people are busy. You know what I mean? Like you need to be top of mind. They're not gonna, agree for you to shoot a video for them if you're just gonna be, hitting them up in the first time. They want like when you guys start signing up and getting emails as a business owner, you start realizing how many people hit you up throughout the day just asking for shit. So that's one thing. That was Monday. I had a shoot in the morning, and then I had a production call with the company. We closed a deal with an agency over in Amsterdam, so we shot with them later on that week. So I had a production call, and then I had to shoot, and then I had to edit a project for a client on Tuesday. Had another meeting. So I had a meeting with another client that they took over this marketing department, and they kind of just want to touch base. They wanted to figure out, you know, pretty much one of the clients I used to work with, they were let go or something like that. New person came in and they kind of wanted to figure out like, hey, what was their working relationship like? How did you guys do stuff together? They kind of wanted to get an idea. So we just had a call, and I didn't really pitch her on anything in that meeting. I just told her like, hey, I know you're probably got a lot going on. If there's anything that we can help you with while you're transitioning to a new role, let me know. We're here to help. Then we wrote a script for a client, and that's the same thing. So other thing that happened, I had a client that we're trying to close a deal with that he wanted me to pitch him on ideas. And I had a couple conversations with him about 2 phone calls. And then he's like, hey, I want to shoot 3 commercials next month. And I was like, that's great. I was like, we can come up with those scripts for you. It's gonna be $500. I'm to the point now that like I'm not giving out free ideas to clients. I have a conversation with you. I could talk a little bit of strategy, but if you want me to present and give you a script or a storyboard for you to possibly go have somebody else do it, we're not doing that. So if you want me to write up a script for you, it's $500. I'll give you 3 different ideas, and then from there you can have somebody else do it, or we can do it. It's really up to you. And then Tuesday, I had a call with another student in over in England, and they're kind of going through the same thing as the other student I had on Monday, and it came out to just outreach. And when you guys are starting out, it's not gonna happen instantly. Like, it took me almost 6 months to really start building up a client base. And sometimes when you guys are just getting out here, it's not gonna happen over 2 months. Like people don't know you. Like people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And in 2 months, if you just reaching out to people, like they don't know who you are. So things I recommended them to do is spend time on LinkedIn, find out who the people are that they are actually looking to work with. Because like you could be reaching out to businesses on Instagram, which I don't want to say don't recommend it. I don't do it. Just my experience working with companies that have social media managers is that when you hit up somebody on social media and you don't know who's on the other side, so it could be their social media manager that's seeing your messages and deleting them, and you're never getting a hold of anybody. So what I recommend that you do is go to LinkedIn, find out who is it that you want to contact, go use hunter.io, reach out to those people, start making those connections, and you got to be persistent. And then also something else that we talked about on our call is have an offering, work on an offering, serve or is it it's serve one person one product for 1 year, and you're going to learn a lot about your business, because it's a lot easy for you to come in and offer one thing. I know as videographers we want to help everybody and do everything, but I think when we start honing down on what is that we offer to clients, that becomes a lot easier. Another thing is, if you're just starting out and you're like niching, and in this example, this person that I was working with, they did a lot of product stuff, is don't reinvent the wheel. Go to the internet, look up who are your competitors, who's been in the business for a couple of years, what do their Instagram bios look like, what does their landing page look like, and copy that. Don't try to get fancy with different like words about creative storytelling and messaging and we capture cinematic stuff. Business owners don't care about that, where they care about results. So, with them, I was like, hey, change your titles or your bio to like, we capture, thumb stopping content for brands that want to grow their revenue. Like make it very specific to what is it that they're trying to do. So what day was that? All right, so that was Wednesday. No, that was Tuesday. Fuck. Wednesday kind of got a breather with work. We had like I had to prep for a shoot. I had a shoot Wednesday that got canceled. That actually gave me a day to just kind of catch up with life, which was nice. And that's something else that like I sometimes I like being super busy, but when I have these back to back shoots, like it's fucking exhausting. And I try to not schedule those. But the big thing for me right now is that I'm gonna be traveling next week. I'm going to be going to Mexico for a project, and I only have 2 days open that week, and then something else got booked up. So at this point, I don't have anything else. So I ended up having to book shoots on Thursday and today. Those just back to back, and that was honestly just exhausting for me. I don't recommend that you do it. It just I didn't get time to prep for what I wanted to do. All right, and then what day was that? Yep. So then we shot yesterday. It was like full day shooting content for another company. And so yesterday's shoot, we ended up working with the company from Amsterdam, and we were interviewing one of their directors here, and that really gave me some insight on because like we had some guidelines that do you charge for cancellation fee? I have a cancellation fee and a rescheduling fee. So if what is it? If you have to cancel, you can rebook within 60 days, and we will try to make that happen. But if you try to cancel after 60 days, whatever deposit that we took on, like we're not returning that. Um, but yesterday's shoot, I had the pre-production with the company on Monday, and then I had like a whole list of things that they needed to do as just part of like what we're delivering for that client. And they just had a lot of good stuff. So whenever you get to work, like this is what I tell you guys to go work for somebody that's doing something more than you because you end up learning a lot from them. So I ended up learning how they process their footage, what their file setups are like, and the different things. They're just like their pre-production prepping, and these are all things, the elements that I'm taking into my own business now that are making my business better. And this is for me, that's me learning from working from someone that's ahead of me. So I always tell you guys, if you get the opportunity, man, go work for somebody that's doing more than you. It is the easiest and fastest way for you guys to scale up and start learning. Like, um, you know, I go work for free depending who the person is. Cause if I'm gonna learn like from you and I get to level up my shit, like I'm all about that. So that was yesterday. Had to come home, had to back up all the footage, and had to start transferring it to to their file transferring system. And then today I had to shoot for another company doing a product shoot. And then that was just a lot of prep throughout the week. I had my sister helping out. We did a lot of just pre-production of looking at different companies' videos. And that shoot we ended up closing that within like 4 or 5 days of actually I had a conversation with this client last week, and then we ended up closing the deal like 2 days ago. But something that she told me was just like, we looked up your company like 2 months ago, but we finally weren't ready to move the ball forward until like last week. So that's where I talk about being, on top of mind and constantly reaching out to clients because sometimes they're just not ready to move forward. And you just have to keep showing up and being top of mind. And eventually, when the opportunity rises, you'll be there. So I think the quote is was it luck is when opportunity meets hustle or something like that, but you just got to be ready. So I gotta go unpack my car. I was not even gonna do this video. I feel like I just rambled on for half of it, but this is kind of me just putting it out there, letting you guys know what happened this week. Oh, something else. I brought on a buddy of mine, Arturo. If you're watching this, man, appreciate it. A lot of love. Thanks for coming out. He helped in the past 2 shoots, and he's somebody that's been reaching out to me for a really long time, wanting to work with me, and just things didn't line up. And then finally this year, with these projects coming on, I've been focusing on making a little bit less money, bringing on people to help me do the shoots because I can really work with the clients. So like same thing today while we were filming, I had 3 people on my crew, Alexis, Art, and Levi. And while they're like prepping and setting things up, I'm talking to the client about like, hey, what do you guys got going on next? Like, what's the next project? And they're like, hey, let's book you in for March 22nd. And this is where, like, if I was working by myself, I wouldn't get that opportunity to sit there and talk to the client and find out, like, what do you guys got going on? And also throughout the shoot, while we're like capturing cool things, I'll always show the client. I'll be like, "Hey, can I show you something real quick? I want to get them excited." It's like today we're doing a lot of product stuff, and if you can probably see it on my Instagram if you guys are following me, but like he wasn't necessarily there for everything. So being able to get them excited and about like what's going on, like it's the easiest way for you to sit there and I don't know if that works. No, that's probably not gonna work. But this is like a air filter system there. But we're like doing some stuff like that. So, every time we got something cool, when I had the chance, I'd get the client to come over and be like, yo, look at this, just to get him hyped. And like I said, he booked us for another shoot for March. And, that's where, working with the team really helps you out. So, do you have a standard crew size or change your pricing based on? It really depends. So this one, we had 4 people. Um, I had Levi, he does a lot of audio stuff. And then I had Art as like a DP. I was kind of directing. We had a 2 camera set up. So I was like directing and manning one camera. I had Art manning another camera. I had Alexis kind of like being a PA/producer, making sure everything was running on time. Then Levi was also doing audio and also PAing. We only did interviews for the first part of the day, and then we did all product videos for the rest of the afternoon. Um, so it really depends on the kind of project. Yesterday was just 3 of us, but the same thing. Yesterday we're doing interviews, and I think like with interviews, and that's something I never used to do. I used to like go in and shoot interviews by myself, but man, having someone to be a producer, that someone that's really good at asking questions where you could focus on the camera, makes a really big difference in a project. So, and that's something else that I started including in the pricing for clients. Like I give them 2 different prices now. You get a price for only a videographer, and you bring your own producer if you want somebody to ask questions, or if you want us to bring a producer to ask questions, we give you a different rate. And it really depends on like who I bring with me, because sometimes you can bring somebody that they're maybe not as experienced, but they could just they can help you just get shit done, and that'll be kind of more like a PA role. And then you have other times where you could bring somebody that would be like a full-on DP and gaffer, which will really allow you to like direct and work with the client and be like producer and that kind of stuff. So right now the only person that really works full time is going to be my sister and Alexis, and then everybody else is just per project. So I usually try to find people that are also like in the creative field. They're also like flexible. Um, so they can work with me. And then usually with these projects, I'm asking them like, hey, what are your availabilities? What days do you have? So I was lucky enough that both Alexis and Art were available today and yesterday. So that worked out. And I usually try, like, now that I'm working with both of them, I really try to bring them on all of my shoots. And then part of the things I've been learning as well is before the shoot start, because I pack all my gear, and that's something that I wish I didn't have to do. But like when we first got to the location today, I was like, hey, let me get you guys for a second. And I kind of give them an idea of like, hey, this is what's in that bag, this is what's over here, that's what's over here. So when I was asking for things throughout the day, they kind of had an idea of where those things were at. And then something else is when we're breaking down and I'll see certain things, take the time to explain to them how I like things to be put back and just how things go, just so they kind of get an idea of what I like, because as people like doing things a certain ways, but I think if somebody's working for you, they should really do the things the way that you like them, because I mean that's what you're paying them for. So, and they just have patience. I think patience is super important. Just have patience on set, have patience with your crew, have compassion, you know, just appreciate them. So today we bought lunch for everybody. It was public subs, but I was like, hey, you guys want chips? You guys want salsa? I was like, what do you want? So, I just want to make them happy. I usually bring snacks. I brought waters and stuff like that. So I'm gonna focus on real estate niche so it's easier to do it myself. That's a good one. If I know people that are making $100,000 a year doing real estate photos and videos. So definitely a little more competitive, but if you got the time, I usually act as a producer and director and have an assistant with some DP skills. That's what I do it, Alex. So, all right, guys, thanks so much. Hope you guys got some value out of this. I know this has kind of been rambling, but I've been up since 3:30 this morning, and I am exhausted. But hope you guys found some value. If you got any questions while you're watching this video, drop them in the comments, and I'll make sure to include them in my next video. Have a great weekend.